Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. So, our evening show, as promised yesterday, late yesterday, after the RC Lens game versus Arsenal 2-1. It wasn't to Arsenal. But we're going to get into this particular show. We're going to be talking about that game there, Bukayo Saka, and some other bits and pieces on this just a late show on Canon 4 TV. Yes, welcome back to Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Even show over here, it's bump day for you, but Wednesday for me. It is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday. Yeah. We don't have that sign about you guys need to subscribe. You don't have to. You don't even have to click the like button. Just can you lend me your ears for the next 15, 20, maybe 25 minutes? Thank you. Thank you for that. Right, so on the top of the show, listen, some serious news, and we've been waiting for this. Mikel Arteta said that Bukayo Saka's latest injury is a worry. Well, what about the last injury and the injury before that and then last season? But does not regret picking him to play in Arsenal's 2-1 defeat at the hands of RC Lens in the Champions League last night. Now, Saka did set up Gabriel Jesus' goal, went off with a muscular problem in the 34th minute, and his side lost for the first time this season. Arteta said, we don't know anything more. He knows, but he's just been told not to say anything. It was big enough and not to allow him to continue to play the game, and that's a worry for us. Which I mean, he made a decision. Not you. Bukayo Saka limped off and went down. It was big enough not to allow him to continue. My goodness. Saka, as we know, is age 22 and had started his side's past 2 games before being withdrawn with injury concerns, and is now a doubt for Sunday's crucial Premier League game with champions of England, at least in the Premier League, Man City at the Emirates. But asked whether he regretted picking Saka against Lens, Arsenal boss said no, it was a knock that he had the other day. Hang on a minute. You're saying no. It was a knock he had the other day, which means he played this game injured. He was injured. And he was perfectly fine. Okay. It was a back heel, an action that can produce that kind of... what? It was a back heel? He tried to back heel a ball in the first half and felt something muscular. He felt uncomfortable to carry on, so we had to take him off. Lies. Absolute lies. He goes on. He hasn't really missed games because you keep playing him. We gave him a break against Brentford. Did you? In the Carabao Cup? No, you didn't last week, and that was all. England forward Saka has been an ever-present and an Arsenal side and has started 87, not 27, 37, 47, 50, 87 consecutive league games. So much of the Gunners' attacking play goes through Saka. And there was no surprise their tempo and energy significantly reduced against Lens following his departure, and they slipped to a disappointing loss in Group B. Now, Arteta will want to would not want to lose such a key figure for the visit to Pep Guardiola's City, who lead the Premier League by 1 point from Tottenham and Arsenal. Now, he did add, let's see what the extent of it is. The last few were more knocks than anything else. My goodness. Excuses. I heard it all before. I work with young children. Excuses. And never wanting to take responsibility. Mikel Arteta, this lies at your door. It's a knock he had before. Nothing to do with a back heel. And you took the decision not to continue on him. Well, he decided himself to come off. He had to come off. He couldn't continue, could he? It's your responsibility to protect the players. Now, the referees can do so much, probably give a yellow card, maybe a red card, but you know, when you look at Bukayo Saka, one of the best products we've had in a long time from the academy. Protect him. And when I say protect him, I don't mean like to wrap, hug him. The games, he doesn't need to be playing 87 consecutive games. That tells you in itself. The facts lay there in black and white. 87 consecutive games. And yet still you want to play him. Has a knock, has nothing to do with a back heel. It's all those knocks that it's been compounded now. And you know what's going to happen on Sunday? He's not going to be fully fit, still be carrying an injury, and you still play him come Sunday. Why is that? Foolhardiness, arrogance, stubbornness. 87 consecutive games for Arsenal for a 22-year-old. The last time I checked, he wasn't a robot. He's not a robot. He's a human being. And football is still a contact sport. So do yourself a favor, wake up, and just give this youngster time away from the game. And if it means he doesn't play on Sunday, he does not play on Sunday. One game. One game. And what I'm more concerned about is all these knocks and bruises and issues compounding. And the next thing, his career could be finished because of your stupidity. He does not have to play on Sunday. Oh my goodness. Making all these excuses, and it's down to you, Mikel Arteta. This is down to you. Yeah, he didn't have to play in the Brentford game, actually. And I actually did put in a question on 101 Arsenal. Did he really have to start last night? No, he didn't. There are other players. Sorry, just to kind of sound off, because this, has it been coming? We've seen this. We've seen this. It's just absolute, it's abject, isn't it? Protect the players. Protect the players. And we've known for the last 2 seasons, I would say, that Bukayo Saka is a marked man. Have you seen the tackle? I mean, I would like to know how many tackles that have been made on him. Do your job. He does not have to play on Sunday against Man City. I don't care. One game compared to losing finishing your football career very early. Just ask Malcolm McDonald. Ask him and he will tell you. Does not have to play every single game in the season. 87 consecutive games for Arsenal. I just find it, it makes me, kind of sick to my stomach. Protect Bukayo Saka. Protect him. Does not have to play every single game. Mikel Arteta. Do you know what? I think I better move on to the next segment before I start to lose a fuse, man. Anyhow, so the finger pointing goes on. It goes on. And next in line is William Saliba. And do you know who's pointing the finger? My doppelganger in Thierry Henry. That's right, my twin. Thierry Henry has questioned William Saliba's defending in the defeat at the hands of RC Lens. The Gunners took the lead, as we know, early yesterday night through Gabriel Jesus, but fell to their first defeat of the season after goals from Adrian Thompson and Ali Wai sealed a 2-1 win. In another blow, Mikel Arteta saw Bukayo Saka force off, injured, with Man City visiting the Emirates on Sunday. Wahid troubled the Arsenal back line throughout the evening, providing the knockdown for Thomason's superb equaliser 11 minutes after Jesus' opener. The 20-year-old swept home a precise winner, 20 minutes with a full time. Also legend, Thierry Henry was full of praise of Wahid. Movement, finding room between defenders to beat David Raya. I'll get to him in a moment. But the former French international was not impressed with Saliba's effort, accusing the defender of failing to track the Lens striker into the box. Ali, he's special when it comes to that finishing, he told CBS Sports. First and foremost, let's talk about how he stayed away from Saliba. You see, you don't need to go and break your neck Saliba will beat you to the first ball, stay in a good position between the two lines, and Wahid does that. He can finish so well. Can we talk about Saliba? The space never scores a goal. Can you have a look at where the striker is? He never looked at where the number 9 is. Only the number 9 can score there. He never looked to see what Wahid does. He never looks. He never looks. You have to check your shoulder. The Arsenal focus now shifts to City on Sunday, with Arteta facing a nervous wait to hear about Bukayo Saka, whether he's going to be available or not. Now, Thierry Henry does make me laugh. And I've got to say, I disagree with him. Because I checked it. I was looking at it. And the build-up before the goal, who was supposed to be tracking Wahid? It was Declan Rice. Declan Rice let him go. Track him. You're supposed to be the midfielder. I mean, there was some way for Wahid to go, maybe 20 yards. He was your guy. Track him. Not William Saliba. This is not William Saliba's fault. Thierry, my double, my body double. Yeah, not William Saliba. And you said it yourself, actually, you know, Wahid is a really good striker. That's what he does. But track the player, not William Saliba, Declan Rice. And like I said last night, sometimes you have to hold your hands up and just say, we were beaten by the better team. We were beaten by a better team, a better drill team. And to think they've not been in the Champions League for 20 odd years, 21 years. And they use the stadium, the 12th man, just to drown out any kind of sound from Arsenal. Any kind of sound from their away supporters. That's what you do. Use your house or your home as a fortress. Don't anyone come there and bully you. So I don't want to give any predictions just yet for the game against Man City, but I think I know where this one's going to be going. But William Saliba, I don't blame William Saliba. Not one iota. Don't blame him. I don't blame him. Anyway, I think the finger pointing goes on. We've still got one more to go. Next player who gets pointed out or gets called out is Alexander Zinchenko. Zinchenko noise. Now Arsenal, as we know, faced a bitter defeat, last night against RC Lens. And Michael Owen, former Liverpool Man United star, did not mince his words when it came to Zinchenko's role in the defeat. Speaking on TNT Sports, Owen said, Zinchenko is halfway house, isn't he? He has to either get close and affect the ball, either tackle or bring the player down or something, or he stays where he is. But he can't give himself away so easy, sluggish. As soon as he was played around, sluggish. We were talking before, he often gets brought off in games. Can he last games fitness-wise and stuff like that? He looked tired when Alonso played 1-2 passes. The Martin Keown, ex-Gunners defender, echoed Owen's sentiments. I think Zinchenko just gets done, doesn't he? He goes in too much for me. I have just waited for the Lens player to come on. I wouldn't have thrown myself in there. Little 1-2s behind him, attacks the space, and then the marking in the box. You've got to mark in the box. Zinchenko's probably out of position, allowing Lens Eli Way to score the decisive goal that marked the defeat for Arsenal. He was caught off guard, allowing Frankowski to run behind him and eventually set up the goal. But I tell you what, a lot of finger pointing, and like I've said, sometimes you just have to admit that you're beaten by the better side. That's that, and we went in there, I'm sure, expecting just to blow away Lens. we'll beat them. You know, Farmers League. No, no, they're a good team, and we just have to admit that sometimes that we are beaten by the better team. Stop the finger pointing, unless you're pointing to Mikel Arteta, and that's right. I'm pointing it here, Mikel Arteta. Sort yourself out. Sort yourself out. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So what I'm going to do very, very quickly, I did want to show you the starting 11. There was just maybe one surprise in there. One surprise, maybe. I'm thinking, where's Ben White? That was the only one I was thinking, oh, Ben White. Raya, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, Trossard, and Jesus. Just one thing, again, nobody gets a buy on this channel, this platform. I thought that Havertz had an okay game. I would have loved when the ball came over to him. I think maybe it was from Odegaard or Saka, and he volleyed it, but he side-footed it, and the goalkeeper Samba. It was relatively easy save. I thought, put your laces through it. This little side foot, put your laces through it. Blast it. But again, you just got to admit that you're beaten by the better team. Look at this here. I was thinking, yeah. I don't even blame Raya for the first goal they scored there. I mean, I know his delivery or distribution wasn't that great on the first goal, but he quickly got back into position. But it's just that Thomason's goal was so good. And Wahid's assist, I think he was clearing the ball and he managed to pass the ball to Thomason before he fell back. 2-1. So we are in second place, as I understand it. And yeah. Anyhow, I think that's it, isn't it? There's no more live view segments. A lot of finger pointing on this one. A lot of finger pointing. Just not happy with Mikel Arteta, man. Not happy at all. Ridiculous. Anyhow, we are going to go into the X platform and just see if anybody's like retweeted something about Cannon Fodder TV. Keep it clean. Anyway, let's have a look here. All right, there's nothing there. Okay. Now, we did do a poll in regards to the predictions, and I didn't even bother doing man of the match. I don't want to upset anybody further. So we just did a predictions versus RC Lens. Choose only one. We received 781 votes, one comment to respond to that comment, and 25 likes. Not bad. Not bad. Average numbers. So again, the prediction versus Lens. Was it going to be a win for Lens, win for Arsenal, or a draw? Well, 3% voted for a draw, 30% voted for a win for Lens, and the rest don't know what they're talking about. Leave it right there. Okay, now I can go into the live chat and just see if anyone's actually followed us over here. Let's have a look. So, Jack, good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well. It's been a long time. We haven't seen the live chat for the longest time. Color me surprised. How come some fans actually see these things before a manager? Saka has been really good, no doubt, but the constant over-reliance on him is a joke. I better move on because, I mean, that was a bit of a rant, a strong one, but it was well-deserved. Mikel Arteta. And Carl, I see that Jurgen Klopp wants the match to be replayed against the Spuds. Come on, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Afternoon, Alex, in the chat room. Does anything you've seen or heard over the last week surprise you? The new project does seem to be a blame culture again. Yeah. But what was more interesting, the assemble, was how people thought the Arsenal were going to roll over Lens. And on Monday, I didn't give a prediction. You can see it back because I said if I gave a prediction, most likely people will be upset. And the prediction was going to be a loss for Arsenal. What happened? We lost. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. But I heard bits of the audio. What a farce! It's like, what were those comedians? Lauren Hardy. After you, no, after you, after you, after you. What happened? I don't know. What happened after you? Oh, absolutely ridiculous. But for it to be replayed, nah, no, 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 no. Well, let's hope. Lessons learned with this. VAR has been here with us for 4 years, 3, 4 years, and still yet we're seeing these glaring mistakes. You got the main guy, you got the assistant VAR, you got somebody else, you got the liner, you got the referee, and still they make this error. Ah, dearie me. But just to go back to the assembles are coming after no, no, I'm not surprised. The new project does seem to be blame culture again. Yes, yeah, we're blaming everyone. What's happened here? Sorry, people. Oh, what's happened there? There we go. Do you think that the system Arsenal are using has anything to do with the players' fitness, as they have to work extra hard in training? No, I just think when you look at the game, Lens were relentless in this particular game. I don't think it's fatigue over the course of us being back in the Champions League. And if that is the case, again, that's down to Mikel Arteta, because you've got 22-man squad. But I wouldn't say it's that. I think the opposition were just so relentless, and we just kind of, like I said, got Zinchenko there, finger pointing. I think the players were maybe a little bit tired, but then that's why you've got the manager who can identify when things like that happen and make the changes appropriately. Continental Europe use VAR differently to us. Yeah, I think you hear the referee, the decision, and explain why, or the communication. But human error, isn't it? Human error. Again, for me, I'll get rid of VAR. Get rid of it. Get it out. Get it out. Okay, let's just have another look here before I wrap up this one. I was going to say, no, I do apologize for the rant, but I don't apologize for the rant. So I don't. I don't. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's just check something here. Okay, so I want to check as well. Just checking to see the matches later on this evening. So Atletico Madrid are playing a final. I won't give it a scoreline because maybe some of you are waiting to arrive home to watch that. Celta play Lazio. Borussia Dortmund play AC Milan, my favorite Italian team. Newcastle play PSG. Red Star Belgrade play Young Boys. RB Leipzig play Man City. And Royal Antwerp are now playing against Shakhtar Donetsk. And the final one is FC Porto against Barcelona. Yeah. Okay, let's go through this last comments there before I do wrap up this one here. Oops. Oops. Tygonosaurus, good evening to you. Evening, fellow Gooners and Liverpool fans? There's only one. Fan, singular, not plural. It's all automatic systems, nothing to do with human involvement. Completely up to the technology, but we like to be different. Well, we like to be different, doesn't make us better. Hi, Tygonosaurus. So it's just poor tactical decisions then, Alex? I think it's a combination of both. A combination of actually 3 segments. Technical decisions, the players, again, he's chosen, and being beaten by a better team. And I think actually of those 3 elements there, we were beaten by a better team. You know, the segments I chose there, literally was a lot of finger pointing. Oh, Zinchenko. Oh, William Saliba. And me, Mikel Arteta, finger pointing, it's his fault. Why are we playing so badly so far in the season? Are we missing the X factor, Shaka? Well, we're still unbeaten. We're still unbeaten in the Premier League. That is, we're still unbeaten. You know, so are we playing that badly? Possibly. I feel your pain. I listened to the commentary from the VAR ref, and it made me sick. Made me sick. You're looking forward to Cricket World Cup tomorrow? Of course I am. Well, am I? No, because West Indies are not in it. So am I looking forward? Yeah, I mean, I love my cricket. I love my cricket actually above football, close second football. But I do love my cricket. Yeah. Don't play it anymore these days. Why in the league are we leaking goals at home compared to away? It's just down to the mentality, isn't it? Surely it must be down to the mentality of the players. I mean, for what other reason is there? I don't know. But also, like I said, you know, when you look at what happened last season, there was no real pressure on us, which leads me to believe this season there's a lot more pressure to make sure, look, we meet those metrics and we surpass those metrics. And Arsenal, again, unbeaten still in the Premier League, but it's down to mentality. Down to mentality. Have you found out what the Arsenal ethos yet, Alex? Blame. That's the ethos. Oh dear. I'll tell you what, I don't watch any of Mikel Arteta's press conferences anymore. I don't watch them. Sometimes I read some of the scripts, the transcript, but I don't listen to him talk on the pre or the training or the post conference. I don't have time to listen to that. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what am I apologizing for? I just don't listen to it. So you're cheering on England and Cricket World Cup? No, no, I'm not. What are your thoughts on ESR so far? Even though he had not had much game time, I feel so bad for him. You know, I was speaking to Glenwyn, aka Gunnar Matters, because I know ESR is one of his favorite players. And I said last season, it wouldn't be such a bad move if he went to play for Aston Villa, the Villa. Because Unai Emery gave those players their run out in the first team. That's right. It was Unai Emery, Bukayo Saka, and Emil Smith-Rowe. So I feel bad for him. I know he felt terrible. Actually, I didn't even realize, because I think, what happened? I think I just switched off the stream that I was watching. Unbeknownst to me, Emil Smith-Rowe came on and he missed 2 chances. And he was distraught. And actually, I did that video, and people are still watching that video I did about Emil Smith-Rowe. But I feel bad for him. There are a couple of players who, to me, I will choose always Emil Smith-Rowe ahead of those 2 players. Because when you see an Eddie Nketiah and a Reece Nelson play, they have an instant understanding. And it goes to the fact that they grew up together playing in the academy. And then you put in Emil Smith-Rowe in that, with all the skills. Technically, he's one of the better skilled players that we have, apart from Trossard. I love him, but I'm just thinking maybe if I were him, and it sounds like I'm probably repeating myself, look at the situation and say, you know what, I might have to leave Arsenal to get regular football. I'm just saying. Another player who looks like he's kind of lost his confidence, because I saw the shot that he did last night, and I'm thinking he's still a little bit tentative. Put your laces through the ball, Emil. But for me, maybe the move to the Villa, being reunited with Unai Emery, might do him a world of good. I just don't get it why certain players still get game time ahead of Emil Smith-Rowe. Just don't understand it. Vieira is not very good on the right. This is not his position. What's your thoughts? Tiger Taurus, I think I was screaming. No, I wasn't screaming. I was like saying, "Come on!" Insofar as you say there, Vieira's position is not, or his best position is not on the right hand side. Because when he came playing in the Europa League, where did Mikel Arteta put him? Kind of beside or behind Martin Odegaard. It just doesn't work there. His better position is playing on the left. And I said last night, you play Fabio Vieira in his better position on the left-hand side and Reece Nelson on the right-hand side. Simple as that. Neither do I. He passes the buck constantly on the players, as he's never wrong. He's never wrong. Oh, dearie me. Goodness. Anyhow, you know what? We're finished on this one. We went a little bit longer than I actually thought. So let me give you a quick heads up what's going to be happening for the next few days. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'll be giving some more live news tomorrow evening. And on Friday will be a never is. I can't believe it. My goodness. The week's gone so quick. Friday will be the easy talk, but we've got some members from Dial Square FC coming back and giving us an update on what's been going on with the club. And I don't know, there might be 1 or 2 freebies to give away, I think. Will there be? My brother will pay for it. I won't be paying for that. So that's what's going to be happening for the next couple of days anyway, at least. And as you know, the weekends, I don't do any content. Is there going to be a watch long for the game on Sunday? I don't think so. I probably might need to confer with my brother again and see what's happening for the Sunday game against Man City. I won't give you a prediction because it's only going to upset people. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. There's just been one more comment, I believe. Why was Gabriel Magalhães on the bench first few games? Did they want to sell him? No. There was some kind of, I won't say fracas, but I think words were exchanged between Gabriel Magalhães and Mikel Arteta. And as a kind of punishment or a sanction, he was dropped. So that's why he didn't feature for those games when the season started. That's why. Alex, do you feel disappointed or let down by yesterday's performance? Neither, to be honest, because I have predicted in my mind that Arsenal were going to lose. So I feel neither. Disappointed or let down? No. Just let down by the fact that we've played Bukayo Saka, which I've spoken about at the top of the show. But let down or disappointed? Not so. Not so. Lens are a very good team. A very good team. I mean, you see the guy who was marking Gabriel Jesus, the physicality, the speed of the defender, not to give him any space. I mean, I can't blame him for the goal that Gabriel Jesus scored because he wasn't expecting for them to give away the ball in that area there. But the physicality, and literally once they've lost the ball, what do? They got back in position. I think it was a bank of 3 and then a 4. They were well formatted and well drilled. Disappointed? No. Let down? No. Surprised? No. Lens are a very good team, and they proved it. 2-1. 2-1. Right, go through these last ones here. Thank you, Tygonosaurus, for that. 2-2 City. I don't think so. Don't think so. How can you not back your own team at home? My own team? England, not my own team. It's a Farmers League, apparently. Yes, I said that at the start of the show as well. Not a Farmers League. Anyhow, people, we are done on this one. I wonder what Liam Brady would think about the performance. I just need to ask him. Oi, Liam, Chippy, Brady, what do you think? They were rubbish. They were rubbish. Oh, dear. Anyway, I will be back tomorrow evening, giving some more live news. And I wanted to talk about Leonardo Trossard because I actually thought he was taken off because he was injured. He was taken off because he had the least touches. And yeah, that's what it was, apparently. But anyway, we are finished. We're finished. Thank you to you for joining me over here. Join me tomorrow. I want to give you some more live news about Arsenal. And maybe we might have another update about Bukayo Saka. Mikel Arteta, wake up, man. Wake up. Sort yourself out. Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.